Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to day 8 of our gratitude series. Today is the last/third quarter moon, whichever terminology you use. I was so excited when the Moonology deck wanted to come out. It's been a minute. It's one of my favorite decks. It's one of the first decks I ever had, and I should say bought for myself. And we've just had this beautiful dance from the beginning. Most of you know I'm very tied to the moon cycles. We all are, but some of us have more of a, I don't know how you'd say it, chronology or whatever, with it. It just feels so linear yet expansive. I just don't even know how to put it into words, my relationship with the moon. But all of our relationships with the moon are different, but it is where we get our emotions. And being a very high level empath, you know, I just, I realize how much my energy is tied into the moon. So if you found yourself here, if you're new, welcome. For those of you who have been subscribing, welcome back. And for the new people, if it's your first time here, sometimes Spirit has me do a whole episode for my Lula's Labyrinth channel here on YouTube, and sometimes they have me break it up into 2 parts for my Patreon channel people. And, we are all on different paths. Some of us only need 1 minute to hear a message from someone. And, it's like we're all different levels of consciousness. So, depending on where we're going on our path, some of us need a little more deeper knowledge, deeper learning. And that is what my Patreon channel provides. However, I would encourage you all to join my Patreon channel anyway, because it's free to subscribe to the Patreon channel. The link is below in the description. It's free to subscribe, but there are some episodes that you have to pay $13 a month to watch. But once you pay that, it unlocks everything on the whole page. It's like a fun little key. It unlocks the key to all the lessons and the magic. And I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm feeling a huge transition and change in myself, just like the moons. And as a lot of you know, my moon is in Scorpio. And now that we've transitioned out of that energy, we are in the last quarter moon that began in the Scorpio energy and will end in the new moon next week in the Sagittarius energy. We are in the Sagittarius now, the fire. So there's something really beautiful about, for me personally, I've always felt such a beautiful transition from those times. But like I mentioned before, we haven't had an eclipse season over the Scorpio and Sag season in quite a while. And the next one will be for, I believe, 9 years, Braca said. She's like her and Pam Gregory are like my go-tos for astrology stuff. So anyway, moving through these cycles and through this gratitude series has been really potent energy for me, potent magic. I've really been expressing myself fully, really bearing my soul to you guys, sharing like more of my personal life with you. And I'm realizing that what may be changing is that I may just be doing more straight up just readings for you guys on Lula's Labyrinth, and then transitioning over with my real talks and my lessons and things like that onto Patreon. I'm not quite sure how they're going to do that. I will give you a fun little Easter egg, as my birthday sister would say, and that is Edward and I are being drawn to start a channel together. So that's going to be really fun. It's going to be all of our nature stuff, all of our nature videos. So all the old videos that we used to have are going to be transferred over there. For some time now, several months, I've been taking lots of nature videos and uploading them, but Spirit's been like, no, don't post them. And I'm like, okay. But there's so many now that I even said to Adam, like, we could just like start a channel and not post anything for like 2 months and post something every day. And they're really cool videos and really interesting educational videos, and just, on our hikes all over the Pacific Northwest. It's super fun. So stay tuned for that. I believe we're going to be launching that in January. You know, he is the psychedelic shaman, and he talks all about shrooms, and he makes his own psychedelics and his own form of quote unquote ayahuasca. And yeah, so just a lot of cool things. And spirit is pulling me more towards like the herbs and working with the earth and the trees and the plant medicine, which also excites me to believe that we are getting closer to our new home, which that's really exciting as well. So today is the last quarter moon. And the last quarter moon talks all about transition and forgiveness. And it's interesting at this particular Thanksgiving, for those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving. I was thinking about this today. I kind of had to chuckle a little bit because the title of our show today is Surrender, Come What May. And surrender was the mommy's all right, your daddy's all right. They just seem a little weird. Surrender, surrender, but don't give yourself away. Hey, hey. I'll put the link below if you've never heard the song. Really good. And then the second part of that was Come What May, and it's from the Moulin Rouge soundtrack. And it's, you know, the whole story is like, come what may, like, no matter what, I will love you. I will love you until my dying day. I will love you. And I just feel like, well, I'm getting a really heaviness from the moon right now. I feel like as we're getting darker, I mean, think about this too. Okay. So I'm just going to give you a little for your mind. I don't know if you guys have been following along this year, but I am telling you, the way things have been going this year with certain holidays, time of year, certain situations happening, you know, socially, just whatever, has been like, it's been like the most beautiful story you could possibly even write, hear about, you know what I mean? Like just something just beautiful. It's beautiful. I can't wait to see all the movies that will be made, all the stories that will be told, all the writers that have been birthed right now for what is happening on the planet. Because don't you think it's interesting that we are in the last quarter moon right now, which is transition and forgiveness, right? But then next, like from now until next Saturday, which is the new moon, we'll be in the waning crescent, which is rest and restore. Because a lot of you, if you went to like holiday things or saw relatives, even if you zoomed, whatever, it's like, I feel like this is a serious, like, this is about transition and forgiveness. Like, it's about change. It's about saying, you know what, some of us saying goodbye to people, some of us moving on, right? And forgiving it, right? Not being angry or upset or whatever. Oh, by the way, I live by an army base and it's been in rare form today. I wasn't sure. We also have a Trump camp behind us, so that practices gun shooting. So yeah, so I apologize for that. But you know, whenever I hear that happening during one of our shows, I feel like it's just a reminder that we should be so fucking grateful and thankful. Talk about gratitude today, that come what may, you know, there are some people right now that, you know, that's real. That's happening where they live every day. People are really dying. Bombs are really going off. Guns are really happening. And this is a direct message from Spirit. If you are somebody who has been thinking about starting some type of coalition, like not a dangerous one, not one with guns or anything like that, none with violence, but with peace and love, loving protest, Spirit is saying, yes, yes, do it. If you want to do a sit-in 11, it's like the 60s, they started that for a reason, right? The quote unquote hippies and the flower children and all that, the indigo children, that's exactly what it was. We were all like there, we have them to, you know, their shoulders to stand upon right now. So if you have the bandwidth right now, if that feels like something that's in your orbit, if you found yourself here right now and you've been asking yourself, what can I do, blah blah blah, maybe you've had some ideas already. Spirit said, do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. There is a reason why you are being called to arms, so to speak. We are all warriors right now, and congratulations for being here and still being alive, because for those of us who are here right now, we are badass motherfuckers, and we did not get here by chance. We didn't not get here by grace. We had to claw and scrape and scream, and we so many things that we had to go through to get to where we are. And the ancestors, blessed be the ancestors. Thanksgiving, this is Indigenous People Month, November. wherever you are, whenever you're watching this, it's timeless, whatever, of course. But in real time where I live, it's November 27th, 2021. And, we are here in reverence with respect to the ancestors, to all those who walked before us. We are here because of them. We give thanks and we are in gratitude for them. So now they are saying to us, we have to surrender. Come what may, no matter how gross it gets, no matter, whatever, don't engage. Moving forward from now until especially next Saturday. I mean, that's what's so beautiful about this, So we'll be in the rest and restore after this. Maybe you had some brutal shit with family. Maybe, um, maybe you didn't go see your family and you've been beating yourself up all weekend, because you didn't go or whatever. Whatever the case may be, it's different for all of us. But next Saturday is December 4th, and it is going to be the end of the eclipse season. It is going to be a full solar eclipse, and it's all about new beginnings. But don't you think it's interesting, though? I mean, look at the timing of that. That as we go into darkness, we're going to be in this, like, at the end of this darkness cycle, this eclipse cycle, but we will have this illumination because it'll be from a solar. Because the second that that eclipse moves on, the sun will shine again and the light will shine bright. Look at how Spirit strategically had me move that candle there in front of the moon and moonology and the fire behind it. Sagittarians have a really special gift, right? And I'm not just saying that because I'm a triple Sag. For real, I'm serious. We have an ability to lighten the situation, to say, hey, listen, it's not that bad, So utilize the Sagittarian energy to, once you've gone through the next week of rest and restore, as we're really forging through this transition and forgiveness phase of the third quarter moon, we recognize when the new moon cycle begins in Sagittarius that we are the main bearer of our own happiness, our own sadness. Some of us have been living in shadow and depression for years because we just got tired of fighting. But I'm here to say, don't give up, sweetheart. I love you. I go through it too. I'm fucking knackered, man. I'm so fucking tired. Like I said to Spirit today, I said, do you want me to keep going? I'm like, I'm fucking tired. Like, I don't know if I want to keep going. And I was kind of getting cranky. And they said, you don't have to keep going. You can stop today. No one says you have to do anything. And I was like, that's true. And then I started to realize that old adage of when we feel like we have to do something, it's just not as pleasant, right? But when we change the attitude and we flip the script and we say, how awesome, I get to do that. For instance, today, for the last several days, I have been cooking and baking my ass off. Having a fucking blast, by the way. I will post some shorts soon. Having a blast. I invented this amazing pumpkin vegan chocolate pie that's made with peanut butter. That's so fucking good. I can't even tell you. And you could do it with any nut butter. It's actually, the recipe was for cashew, but we only had peanut butter in the house and it was damn good. So, but anyway, Ed had a small job today. We had decided to take the whole week off, the rest of the week off, but he had a local family who has a special needs son and they have extra vans just in case. But long story short, Ed just never leaves them hanging. If they need him, he goes. It's literally like a few miles down the road. So I said, you know what? I'll do the dishes. Because the whole thing is if I bake and cook, he cleans, And he knows, like the one day he was like rubbing my feet later because he saw me on my feet for hours, doing so much because I made everything from scratch. So I'm prepping everything, marinating, doing it all. Loving it though, loving it. So I said, they asked him to come by today for a few hours and work on something. And so I said, you know what? I'll do the dishes. Even though it was a fucking shitload. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, no, I just, like, my knees kind of hurt. My ankles kind of hurt. I just didn't want to do it. And so all of a sudden Spirit said, why don't you flip the script on this one? They're like, you think he wants to go outside right now? It's not really cold, but it is rainy. It's not downpour, but it's still not a day you want to work outside. And they don't have access to their, he doesn't have access to their garage, so he has to work outside. And they said, be thankful that you don't have to stand outside right now working on a car. Whether it's 50 degrees or not, he's still outside in the rain working on a car. To like, you get to sit here, listen to music in your warm house and do dishes. And I was like, you're right. I flipped the script and I was like, wow, I'm so grateful that I get to do the dishes today and I don't have to be outside. It's about that right now. That's how they want us to flip the script. That's how we surrender. Because come what may, how we show up and how we react to each situation is truly on us. So with that being said, I think he just got home too. I'm going to pull some cards, and as usual, we'll see what comes up. Oh, I didn't even realize that these rocks had like put themselves in there. Look at this. Let the moon be your guide. Oh, Spirit, I love them so much. I was like, how did these rocks get in there? I was kind of maneuvering it around, but I didn't realize it did that. But look at that. Let the moon be your guide. I got to take a picture of that. That looks rad. Anyway, I can also feel, I don't know if you guys can feel it, but I can feel that I'm lightening up a little bit. I'm letting things go. I'm not holding on to things the way that I used to. But interestingly enough, I've been going through some really heavy things over the last few days that I realized just really had to happen. They just really had to happen. And I'm so grateful for them. And each time something, quote unquote, ugly reveals itself, I do my best to work through it, feel it, and then say, okay, what am I learning from this? What am I learning from this? Look at this. Confidence is your key to success. New moon in Leo. So maybe you are a Leo. Maybe you're dealing with a Leo. But, yes, Leos are all about confidence. Interesting. I don't know if they want us to. I guess we're going to keep that there. I have a whole setup back there, but I guess we'll see what happens. Maybe it's for the Patreon reading. But yeah, so confidence is your key to success. And the only way to build that confidence is to go inward. If you're looking for your confidence and your sexy and your happiness and all that good stuff, your peace, your love, if you're looking for that externally, outwardly, you're not going to find it. And you may find it temporarily in another person, but the whole point is finding your inner lion, channeling that Leo energy. And if you're not familiar with the Leo energy, I highly recommend that you research it. It's another fire sign. But the confidence is your key to success. Oh, I'm hearing, okay, so we're going to pull some cards here, and then there's a book, and we're going to go deeper into these meanings of these cards on the Patreon reading. And again, I'll put the link below. Spirit wants you to know that they're not having me change this format to punish anybody. It's literally about that we are at a point now that our tribe, we have 247 members that are subscribers, and thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, I highly suggest you subscribe today, because it is, right? The confidence also comes from, being a part of something, feeling like you belong. Depression happens when we isolate ourselves. I've been watching the Cottage Chariot. I love that Spirit put them in my wake. And one of the things that they spoke about was that they started working in a bookstore again because they got so used to working at home, and they loved it. I got the energy anyway, that they really loved it at first, but then they started to realize that some of their darkness was creeping back in, and it was good, and they worked through it. I don't want to speak for them. This is what I felt from their energy and from what they said. But then they also said, but by also like re-engaging with like-minded people, I could just tell, they were just more lit up from that episode to the episode before. And some of us need that. So, confidence can also come from a community. If you're at a stage where you cannot, build your own confidence because you don't love yourself or you're not feeling good about yourself, there could be a plethora of reasons why. But if you're feeling really lonely and isolated, you may need to seek out a tribe, even if it's just one person, that you can be like, hey, can we go for a walk? Or, I had a lot of people, because I am a triple fire, that would every so often, we wouldn't talk forever, but they would just be like, "Hey, can we talk? I just need like a pep talk. I just need some of your fire today. I need some of your energy." And I'd be like, "Sure." And if I had the capacity and bandwidth to do it, I did, because I realized that, they just needed that pep talk. We all need even just one person, just one friend that can just give us that little pep talk. So be brave like the lion. Lions are all about courage and bravery. To be brave, reach out. And even if it's someone, maybe it's someone in your online community. Maybe it's somebody on a certain format or social media or a podcast, anywhere, and just put it out into the universe and say, I really love this channel. I really love this person on this podcast. I don't know if they'll ever see this, but is there anyone else out there, who, and however you want to word it, because confidence is key. And sometimes we just need a little booster to help us get there. So nothing will come of this situation. Void course of moon. Ooh, this is an intense card. So interesting. Let the moon be your guide. And then it says nothing will come of this situation. I feel like they're saying for some of you, you know exactly who you are. You know exactly what Spirit is saying to you right now. Angel number 2132 is your medicine, so go look that up. You just put in Google 2132 angel number, whichever one pops up. In my experience, my angels tend to put the first one is the best one for me, but for some people, they like to go for the hunt. Maybe it's the second page, third page, whatever it is. But look that up. And if you got a ping in your stomach, you know what it is. But they're saying nothing will come of this situation. It's actually it's been a long time since Spirit has left me dry like that. Also, they just want to remember or remind you that the last quarter moon energy is about transition and forgiveness. The title is Surrender, Come What May. So that also goes with that nothing will come of this situation. Okay, so we're going to leave that there. The next card we have is you're very close to achieving your goal. And this one wants to be highlighted, so I'm going to move this over. And this one would very happily like to be highlighted, it said. I would very much like to be highlighted. Okay. I had it on here where it was sitting there perfectly. You're very close to achieving your goal. Isn't that wonderful? You're very close to achieving your goal. It's interesting. When I put this together, these cards, like, I didn't even have to do anything. It was actually kind of cool. So here we go. Look at that. Your goal. Because they said, don't move the card. I'm like, oh, but you can't see it. It's the gibbous moon too. So we're going to go deeper into that on the Patreon channel. But you're very close to achieving your goal. So whatever it is that you've been working towards, you're closer than you realize. That's why you keep seeing the number 9s. You keep seeing the number 11s. I'm also hearing the number 34, which is also the number 7. But I feel like the 34 is very significant for some of you. It may even just be one person. Also working with pyrite to enhance your abundance energy. And, amplifying it with like a good quartz crystal. Keeping your eye focused, like we said, whenever you watch this, it's timeless, but so whenever the next new moon is for you, but for our tribe, like we said, the next new moon is in a week. So if it's something that you need, or, remember we talked about yesterday about need, want, and have. Is it something you really need? Is it something that you want? They're saying you're trying too hard to be practical. For some of you, they're saying you're trying too hard to be practical. They want you to like really step outside of your comfort zone and stop looking at it from a practical standpoint and believe in magic. part of the reason why it's not happening for you, why you're not achieving your goal, is because you don't believe in magic. Or I'm getting the vibe like you believe in magic, but like for everybody but you. Like that you're not allowed to, like magic happens for everybody but you. This doesn't happen for you. And they're saying, yes, it does. Why does magic only happen for some and not for others? Magic happens for everybody. Raoul Dahl. Those who believe in the magic, those who don't believe in the magic will never find it. There's a reason for that, because if you don't believe it, right? How is anyone else going to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself? When I was 23 years old, I was kind of like the joke. Nobody believed I was going to move. I kept saying, for months, I was like, I'm moving to Los Angeles. I'm getting out of here. They're like, oh, yeah, right. You would have moved by now, blah, 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 blah. Well, you know what? I got tired of hearing that. I took a second job. I busted my ass. I worked almost every single day. Sometimes I'd have one day off a week. But for like 6 months, I had the youth and the tenacity to fucking work my ass off, balls to the wall. And 6 months later, I was living in Los Angeles. You can do it. You can do it. I am living proof. So don't give up. You're very, very close to achieving your goal. I want to see if there's any more cards coming through for the... Okay, you guys, so I'm going to leave it right here for you guys, and we're going to move on. The link will be below to my Patreon channel if you'd like to watch part 2. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here. Let's part ways here, and I'll see you tomorrow. Love you so much. Blessed be. Oh, bye.